Hey, what's up guys? Tarun Shetty here. Didn't see you there. The episode's just about to start. Want to remind you that the Convo Sutra has a Patreon. If you like what you've been seeing so far, now's your chance to show your support. Give whatever you want a month, $5, $10, your choice. There's no pressure to commit, drop out at any time. Enjoy this episode. Man, this vodka is great.
Hi, oh, you're so nice. Yay,
Hey, how are you?
hi.
Like this outfit.
Oh, thank you.
It's good.
Black is my new thing now. That's why I have
good.
to make sure Naomi's not here.
Happy
Birthday!
is
I
that
didn't
her thing?
see you for your birthday. Yeah.
Oh, happy
Hey, do I have enough headroom, by the way?
There's new lights here.
Yeah.
Wow.
We can see every. Oh, whoa.
Pretty good.
Oh, I like the Christmas tree behind you.
I know. It's
The
like
Christmas tree's
we're
really
so
nice.
festive.
So wait, you were saying that guys don't like?
No.
Me.
Let's not talk about it.
No, but
Let's not talk about that.
Look at her face. I'm saying all of her boyfriends hate me. Yeah, it's fine. We can put that out there.
if I had a girlfriend and she was always hanging out with you, I would be kind of like.
I'm not always hanging out with him. I just go to the temples with him. I just do auditions with him, and then sometimes he comes over for chai. But it's not like we're always hanging out.
Yeah.
Why aren't you guys dating then?
No. We're both in the entertainment industry. Like, so one of us has to have like a real job for that to work.
You said
I'm
that.
sorry.
You said that, but you're always gonna be bored with a normal dude.
No, but I can be with someone who's a normal guy who's got an edge.
You've
which
tried a
is-
few times.
Shut.
Their edges were
Let's
blunt,
move on. Let's
and
not
your
talk
ass
about
got bored
exes.
quick.
Let's not
Anyway,
Let's not talk about exes. Let's move on.
Let's talk about Ritu's exes.
yeah, what's going on with Ritu's exes?
Oh, okay.
Ritu, because I don't know Ritu. I know most all of her dirt. How many exes you got?
Oh.
Like real ones.
Yeah, I was like, what is an ex? Like, what
Like
counts
someone you
as an
consider
ex?
dating.
We
Like, you
started.
actually
We started
dated.
10 minutes ago, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we only started.
Someone-
There's been no intro, but I can. Let's like warm her up. Yeah, like
No,
that's
it's
good.
fine. I got
Okay.
it.
It's not that
So-
type of show.
It's not that type of warm up. We just
We're not
shoot,
getting into your dating life right now. We're just asking
we just
questions.
shoot the shit, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it
What
doesn't
is
matter.
the warm up?
Yeah.
It's not like I need like a tutorial on like what's our topic today.
Our
Well, I didn't know.
conversation-
I was just sitting here and she was talking. He's like, "We're already recording." I was like,
Yeah.
I thought we were waiting for you.
You're the only one guy that actually showed up like 5:15. So thanks. I didn't show up at 5:15. So thank you.
I'm super anal with time.
No, I
He
appreciate
is.
that.
He's,
I'm very
yeah.
anal.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I
he's
hate when
like
people are
that.
late.
I
I
actually
wasn't saying that about you.
planned 5:15.
That's fine. I wasn't.
No, that was his passive aggressive
fine.
way of saying you
Yeah.
fucked up.
So-
The traffic on Hollywood is crazy right now.
Yeah.
You know
why are
what?
we
Do you know
talking
what's
about
as
my
crazy as Waze? It tells you exactly where everything is. It's crazy.
Okay, so tell us, Ritu, what were you saying?
About exes?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just saying, like, what is the criteria for someone being an ex? Like,
I mean, I guess-
shouldn't there be like a benchmark? Like, is it like you've dated like 3 months? Is it like you've dated?
Well, you have a feeling.
3
It's
weeks.
like you
you
went a
have
couple
like an
dates doesn't mean
exclusive
it.
relationship. I
Yeah.
think that is what classifies an ex.
Oh,
Shit, I never had one of those. She's like, they've been
Oh, I
very
think
open.
maybe you had an exclusive relationship, but they weren't exclusive. Sorry.
That's fucked up. That's
that
kinda
happens
true.
with guys?
No. Like, no, it was not like that.
Oh,
I'm joking,
wow.
I'm joking.
Ayushi, if you're gonna open up the bank, if you want to open up the vault, girl, I can open your shit up real
Okay,
quick.
fine.
It's gonna not be a good
We're
look
not-
for you.
Okay, fine.
All right. Then.
I've had girlfriends cheat on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Oh.
devastating.
So I don't know, but it seems like that's what happened with the ex. But you know, it sucks. Yeah.
LA, it's hard to maintain a relationship for me. Like, I feel like here, and when I was in other places, it was a lot easier, but here it's like a different energy.
It's a complete different game.
Yeah.
I don't like it. My ex was in North Carolina, which was a whole other problem.
Yeah.
3,000 miles is not worth doing.
yeah.
It's just too far. I got to be able to see you. Like, I don't want to date someone that
Yeah.
lives on the other side of the 405, bro. Like, I want you around.
I live on the other side of the 405. That's why it takes me long to get anywhere.
Aw, it's
and nobody
fine.
wants to date me.
No, I'm in Sherman Oaks. So it's
Okay.
like I'm not like close to here either. But it's like one of my exes 2 ago. She lived in Koreatown. Dude, those 19.
I thought you were gonna say in Korea. I was like, wow, you went international.
No, I know. Hey, look, I ain't got that much money. You know what I'm saying? I ain't flying to see your ass. But well, you might need to go to Korea now to find a feminine woman. But in Koreatown, it was.
What did you say?
Hey, I'm just being honest. You know, that's where the good ones are nowadays. You gotta go real far to find one. But in Koreatown,
Rude. You know we're sitting right here.
point exactly. Passive
Passive
aggressive. But no, dude, she was in Koreatown. It would take me an hour and 15 minutes to get there. It felt like a long distance relationship.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. And she didn't have parking. And I have to take my dog. It's just like, this feels like I'm packing to see you every time.
Yeah, it's
and I know it's just like, oh, Sherman Oaks and Koreatown. What's the big deal? Well, those 19 miles suck. It was just like you had to plan. It wasn't easy. It's just like, hey, I have a bad day. I want to come see you. Cool. Hey, do you want to grab dinner real quick? You're free. Let's just go. Like you can't just be on a limb.
I think that's the other problem with people in LA. Like they make everything seem like a long distance relationship.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not a big deal. Like, yes, it's driving. You could meet midway. You can like
Agreed.
figure things out.
Yeah.
You could have sleepovers.
But I was doing all
it
the driving,
is.
Ritu. See, it was me
Yeah,
doing
but
all
I
the driving.
actually-
That's
That
you setting
happened.
boundaries.
Yeah, that's my own fault. I agree. I was like, how about you come to my spot, sweetheart?
Yeah,
You know?
I think like there is a way to like meet halfway. I was talking to some guy through Hinge, and he was like, "Oh, you know, like."
She talks to many through her.
Like, shut up. See, and then he gets mad when you bring up anything about his exes or whatever. Like, don't have double standards here, okay?
Don't have her accent comes out when she
But
gets
it's like,
excited.
he
You're
is
just like
such
Richard.
dumb.
Don't have double standards,
Don't have
yaar.
double standards.
Yeah.
Okay?
Can you just for me say Bakersfield again?
Bakersfield.
What is wrong with Bakersfield?
Oh my god.
That was my favorite. Like, I think I might have watched that. Like, I was like, rewind
You know
10
what?
seconds.
You know
10
the reason why
seconds.
his clips have 2,000 views?
Yeah, I kept rewinding it.
Yeah, but you know how to speak English, and your
But
accent
it's like
changes.
also like, you know, you're comfortable with people, so
Okay.
you are able to
Your
like
natural
speak
instinct
however.
I think it comes
But-
out, like the Indian accent, if you've had it, comes out even stronger when you're like in a comfortable setting.
zone.
Yeah.
But I want to go back to what you were saying about exes. So what classifies as an ex?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like what classifies as
I would
an
say
ex?
someone who you've been in an exclusive relationship with, whether it's like 2 to
How
3
long?
2 to 3 weeks, be it TK.
it doesn't matter as long as you know you're not gonna be, or you're not open, like you're dating.
Yeah.
The length doesn't really matter. Depends.
But if you're just
It's
getting to
different
it
with every person.
And do you have a conversation about like we are exclusive?
you
do
can, or it's understood.
Yeah. No, I think
This
I
is
always
where we
have a
all
con-
go wrong, my friends.
Oh.
This is where we go wrong. I will tell you that because recently I was
Yeah.
seeing somebody for like, I would say 6 weeks or so, which I'm like, oh, and especially if you're seeing each other like every other day.
Oh,
and
that's
talking
accentuated.
on the phone every
Okay.
day.
Yeah.
And like you've also maybe like, you know, met some people in your homes and
Yeah.
stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Like you assume that you're exclusive.
I mean, yeah, that would
I
kill me.
assumed, and then I learned we were not. And then I had to clarify, and then it was like,
Oh,
Can I ask, how did you clarify that? Like, what did you like? What was that conversation? I mean, you don't have to talk about it if you
the
don't.
conversation. I know, I'm like, Darn, can you edit this part? I don't think I should have been washing my
Do you
dirty
want to say this?
I'm only asking her because it's happened to me also. But then, like, the guy started to sense that, like, oh, maybe she thinks this is exclusive. So he himself was like, yeah, and this other girl that I was talking to, and I was like, which other girl were you talking to? And then he was like,
I mean, she's right though. You do
like,
have to have the
yeah,
conversation.
but like sometimes that conversation doesn't happen so organically. It sort of just
Yeah.
comes up. So I'm wondering if it was like
Well,
deliberate or not.
No, I had the conversation after I discovered that they were still on not
social
just,
media dating apps.
not just dating apps, but like new ones that were newly downloaded. So I was like,
Okay.
are we not on the same page here?
But what
Because-
did he say? What was his response?
Because I had literally told other people or other prospects, like,
I'm seeing
hey,
somebody.
I'm like, you know, gonna,
Oh, really?
I'm gonna explore something more seriously with somebody. So, like, you know, I don't
Yeah.
want to lead this thing on, like, right? And so, like, that to me, that's like respectful and fair.
Yeah, of course.
And the other person knew that I had communicated that because I was like, P.S. I communicated that to other people. And they were just like, oh, yay, win for me. And I was like, weird response, but okay, whatever. But I was like, sure. And then I didn't realize. And then when I discovered that they were, you know, on new dating apps fresh, then I was like,
How'd you discover
What's
that? She signs up
happening
too.
here?
She's like, why are you on it?
Yeah, how did you
You're
discover
both on
that?
new dating apps and now you're pissed off at him. How'd you discover
Oh,
that?
wow, good catch, Pritesh. How
Yeah, how
did
did
you
you
do that?
discover that? Let's hear on that shit.
that part we will not talk about.
Oh shit. Okay.
Now
see?
coming back to
See?
double
Yeah, but-
standards.
I'm just telling
Let's
you.
just say I was not the one on the apps. I found out
Through
through
somebody else.
another mechanism.
Oh,
okay.
yes. He matched with a friend.
So I was just like,
Scandal. I'm joking. Sorry.
so I was
No,
just
not
like,
funny.
you know, kind of confused here. Like we've progressed and we've been hanging out. We're like, you know, pretty intimately together. So I was like, I don't understand. And then they were like, well, I don't know. Maybe I got scared. And I was like, scared. And then it was like, excuse after excuse. Like, well, I didn't know we were exclusive. And I was like, why didn't you ask me? Ask me. Are we exclusive?
That's the most LA story.
You know?
That's so common.
I think it's all like
I have that a lot too.
You lost me at we hung out every other day. Like, why were you guys hanging out so much? Like, who?
Why not? If you're vibing with someone,
You guys have
what's
no
wrong
life?
with?
Yeah,
Wait,
that's weird.
what's wrong with hanging out with everyone? I like hanging out. If I'm into someone, I want to hang out with them
Yeah,
a decent
yeah,
amount. Yeah.
See, I like my alone time.
I like it too, but I'm alone all day, all the time. So it's like, come over and let's have dinner and watch a movie or something. Like every
I don't
other
think
day.
there's anything wrong with hanging out every other day and like being on the. I think you meant like also like on the phone and everything, right? Like you were like constantly like talking on the
Yeah,
phone.
because like, okay, so here's the
She's
thing.
like, we moved in together. Why are you guys freaking out? We lived together for 6 weeks, and he would leave. It was work, but it was other dates. It was a million. I make him chai. He takes it to the date.
Okay, guys, this is funny
He's like
because
taking food.
I think this whole conversation about like what you are is important. Like
it was like he downloaded the dating apps when I was sleeping.
Yeah, pretty much. No, it's messed up, yo.
Yeah.
so like what's happening now?
Oh, no. I cut that. I cut it.
How long ago was this?
No. Actually, okay, let me tell you. Just to,
10 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's why she was late. That's why she was late. I had to end it with a guy that was on. We were on different pages. I gotta pee really bad. It affects my bladder when I have
Yes.
conversations that are rough. Thank you.
No, so what happened was that was the first time, right?
Yeah.
And so then it was like, okay, let's just like take a pause because then they did ask me to be exclusive. And I was like, I don't want to respond. Like, I don't want to react right now. And I don't want you to ask me to be exclusive because you feel like you got caught. So I was like, let's just like
Take a break.
take a chill pill and like we'll see how things go. And then in the week they were still like very like attentive, very like engaging and like making an effort. So I was like, oh yeah, I guess things
you
are
don't know if
fine.
that's guilt or if that's like real.
Genuine, authentic.
Yeah, and then it wasn't until like maybe 2 weeks later after we had still been hanging out and like
Every other day.
and still,
Like
and
a Tourette's
still, yes.
I'm exhausted listening to this story.
No, you. I'm gonna come to you next. Yeah.
But like and meeting like friends and stuff like that,
Yeah.
right? Like now
Yeah.
you're kind of like getting integrated
Yeah.
into like some of my inner circle.
Yeah.
And then it was like, and then I discovered that they were on dating apps again, or maybe never got off, but now they were engaging in conversation with other people. Like the first time it was just like,
Oh, this was definitely
on
a friend because you really knew everything.
so then I was like,
He's like, I got scared.
He was how about this guy? This guy was basically talking to a girlfriend of yours, right? That's how you found out.
I'm not going to get into that detail
I'm
here.
going into it with that story.
But whatever the case is like, then at that point when I was okay, now you've prolonged it 2 weeks longer and now you've engaged with somebody. So then at that point I was like, that's not cool.
Chalo,
but
engaged
hold on.
with someone,
Hold-
not engaged to someone.
Hold on, but
so
when
it's
you-
okay.
He's married.
Yes.
What do you mean?
She goes, it's just like so
What's
disrespectful.
going
He's
on
at
here?
my house talking to his wife.
His
like,
wife.
the audacity on this
audacity
guy.
has to go pick up
like,
his
come
kids.
on.
What is wrong?
Like, yeah. Hold on. When you said you talked to him, was it like a pleasant conversation? Would this turn into like a yelling fight, or was it
Actually,
like adult?
I feel like you would have had a very pleasant conversation. Probably gave him some like good juju and like cleansed his energy.
Can we hear her
and all
answer,
that.
or do you want to
I'm sorry.
make something up? Cool.
She's actually not off. Actually, when I discovered it, because I had to discover
I get scared when
it.
girls do this.
It's
Actually,
because when
when the claws come out, I get scared. It's not peaceful.
Well, my claws are pretty.
Oh,
yeah, but she has nice rings. That's why when we
That's
have nice
why.
rings, we talk like this
But
more.
when I discovered it, I was actually pleasantly surprised at my own growth because it wasn't a yelling thing and it wasn't like a getting mad. I was very much like, hey,
Receptive.
yeah, because we had just finished a party at my friend's place when
like,
I
here's an
discovered
acronym.
Arn!
Tarun, you're so suspiciously quiet. I feel like you're this guy.
No, he's just
talking
he
about-
no.
No,
He's
I'm just-
literally we lost
I'm
him
just
when
taking
we.
it.
Tarun could not be that guy because Tarun doesn't want to hang out.
Yeah, the Tarun. Do you know when Tarun lost all of us? Was like you hang out with other people by choice more than
Yeah.
once a week. Like Tarun's like I don't even understand the social stuff.
I don't even know.
His anxiety kicked in. We're literally talking to the guy who has the makings of a serial killer right now, and he's just like, "You guys
That's not-
socialize?
that's
You
not
guys
true.
socialize?"
Naomi told me, she goes, "You're like a robot." She said, she said you're only human because there's cameras here, and
That's
she
true.
wasn't off.
It's true.
Let's break
It's
down
so
this childhood
true,
trauma.
actually.
What happened?
What?
Let's break down this childhood trauma. What made you a robot, Tarun?
My mom passed away.
Oh, that's all.
Yeah, No, but it's actually
Tell
really
me the truth.
interesting.
Tell me anything you want to know. And the reason why I didn't want to do any intros is because I was like, I'm tired of like us all trying to create personas here. I was like, you know what?
No, I
Nobody
wanted to do an intro this time.
See, everybody like turns it.
Do you want to do the intro?
Do
Because it
That's
turns
what
into something that you feel like is disingenuous.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to come across a certain way, and
Oh, I wonder who you're referring to.
everybody, even me. But I was like, you know what? Let's just try something different. It's not a
cool
bad
with
thing.
that.
It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
something
yeah.
like a different turn.
That was fun though, the way we got into it.
Yeah, I mean, this
Into
is
the podcast.
Yeah, I think this is more loose. I don't want to take away from your story.
Yeah,
about your
I
ex.
want to
Oh,
know
no,
what
it's
you did.
okay.
What do you, yeah.
Well, you want to know how I cut it?
Yeah.
So Lorena bobbited it. No, I'm kidding.
I don't know. The way you did the nail stuff scared the crap out of me. Hold on. But this was in person,
was
right?
like,
This
Yeah, it was in
cutoff
person.
okay.
Because I found out in person. It's not like I found out over
We're
the
missing
phone.
this detail that I really want to know now. We're getting everything
She
else
saw it
besides
on his
his
phone now. She probably looked at his phone and she saw the dating app on it. It doesn't take like a genius to figure that out.
Okay, mom, calm down. She saw it on the phone, huh? Nah.
the way,
But how
you
did
know.
he take it? Did he expect it or was he shocked like an idiot?
I think well, okay, so let me tell you. So basically we were like, he was leaving for my friend's house and I was like, oh, did you get everything? He's like, yeah. And I was like, okay. I was like, oh, and also like, don't forget to do XYZ. Had to remind him of something he needed to do in the week. And he was like, oh, okay, yeah.
Don't remember to call your wife.
And then I said, and also don't ever call me again. We're done.
He said that to you?
No, I said
she
that.
said
Oh,
that.
good for you.
Good for you.
I said also
And in that intonation,
exactly that tone. I said, also
Wow.
don't ever call me again. We're done. And he was like, oh, okay. And it was like he had no expression. I was like, are you a sociopath?
I also don't have an
I
expression.
mean, this
You're
seems
not
like
even
these are narcissistic qualities.
Yes.
Yes.
So he was like, okay, did something happen? I was like, yes. I was like, I realize that I can't trust you. I don't want to be with somebody who's love bombing me and at the same time still talking to other girls. And
Good for you.
And he
Oh my
was
God,
like,
you're my hero.
I dated one of those,
and he
so I
was
know
like,
what you're talking about.
And he was
yeah.
like, oh no, but I do love you. And I was like, really?
Mm.
Then I took out a screenshot of a text message I had. And I was like, really? Because somebody that loves me wouldn't be talking to other girls on Bumble. I was like, so that's that. And then he broke out into a smirk. And I was like, are you literally... Are you
They
about
don't
to
care.
smirk right now?
They don't care.
And then he fixed the smirk, and I was like, don't even. I was like, anyways, we're done. And then he stood by his car and opened his arms up like he was fucking Shah Rukh Khan, and I was about to run into his arms for one
funny.
last hug. And I was like,
How was it?
no. I was like,
She did. She goes, oh, this is nice.
I was
Oh
like,
my God. Oh my God. Wow.
I was like, no. I was like, we don't need to do that.
Yeah.
And then I got up on the stoop of my friend's house and I said bye. And then he was taking too long to get into the car. So then I just turned around and went inside.
Now, did you block him on everything or has he tried to reach out to you since?
He's not tried to reach out to me. I didn't block him on anything.
You are my literal hero. Thank
yeah.
you for doing that.
Oh,
Did this happen
okay.
right before the
I
last
just
podcast?
find that to be so inspiring.
Okay, because you came in with a weird energy.
I know. That's why I was like, should I even do the podcast? Because have I
But good for you.
regulated my emotions? But here we are. I'm regulated. I'm wearing, black. I'm in my...
And you look amazing. I love your makeup, your hair, everything.
Yeah, but well done. Respect. That's not
Yeah,
easy to do.
respect, girl.
You know,
Respect.
I keep hearing these stories because my ex was like that. And I feel like the word narcissism's thrown out so easily.
Yeah.
But I can honestly, without a proper diagnosis and without being in any situation to give anyone a diagnosis, it pretty much seemed like from all the research and all of her behavior, she pretty much had narcissistic personality disorder. The disorder, we all have narcissistic qualities. That's human,
Correct,
right?
yeah.
That's ego. But she had like everything from the disorder, it felt like. And it was really weird because when you look back, you just feel like you've been duped the whole time, right?
I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
felt
mean,
like
like
love
we
bombing.
joke about these things, but it's
You
very,
know the
very
whole
serious.
story.
Yeah,
And
of course,
it's wild because you're like,
yeah. I mean, like,
I'm not
I'm
an
so
idiot. You
sorry.
can be
Like, I didn't
duped.
mean to like joke about that. By
I don't
the
care.
way, I just
You can
feel
joke about
like
it. It's
we no,
life.
we can't. Like, I think some of these things are very like they have a very profound effect on
Yeah.
us, and like it doesn't go away so quickly. Like it takes.
No, it messed me
time.
up.
Yeah, it messed.
me up.
I think
Yeah.
I overlooked a lot of things
Mm-hmm.
that I knew from the beginning, but because like in LA's dating scene, like you don't really go like I went on a lot of first dates. You don't go on that many second dates or third dates. So like when somebody is like consistent and persistent and like you said, like what are you doing hanging out every other day? I was like, oh, like literally we're making plans like every other day. I was like, and then I thought, oh, it must be, you know, when you're in your 40s, like this is what mature dating must be like. You like are building a relationship. Little did I know that like I was just
Yeah, you get blindsided.
We get
You know,
blindsided
it's,
because we also go into it with lack mentality because we all have that opinion of like the dating scene being as such, and you go into it. It's just like the same energy we can approach auditions if you haven't booked in a while. Like, okay, I gotta get this, and it doesn't go well, right? Because you're actually not present. It happens with dating too. Like you avoid so many things because there's like certain good things. You're like, well, I guess no one else has it, so I was like, might as well put up with this. You can't have everything, so you start convincing yourself, even their guts telling like something's up.
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't feel right.
yeah.
You know, but it's also like you can't date with like no attachment. Like that's also weird, right?
What do you
Like
mean?
if you are dating someone like and you're seeing them on a daily basis and like you are developing feelings, it's not like you can be like, okay, let me just keep myself
Yeah, but I think there's a
detached
rush.
from this. Let me keep myself detached from this and keep myself guarded because like who knows, like tomorrow this person might start talking to someone else. Like I feel like fear and like love can't coexist. So that also screws you over because now you're really like putting in effort with someone, you're really getting along with them. And then like you have no idea that in like a month and a half, you're going to find out ki, like this person is still like talking to other people. And that can actually like, unless you're like not into them at all, that can really catch
But
you
I
off
thi-
guard and can really like mess you
But
up.
I
It's
feel like
happened to me
there's-
too.
Yeah, it depends if you're moving from
Yeah, I'll hold it
anxiety.
for you.
Oh, you're gonna do
Hold
it?
on.
I mean, it's going into his breast. That was weird.
Yeah,
Tarun,
dude,
put this in.
kudos to you for looking jacked, dude. You look really.
He also
Yeah,
likes
great
doing that thing that he's doing right now. So while, yeah, he can,
No, so
Is that like how do you do that?
I don't know.
you just flex the text.
Can you do that?
I think Tarun can do that. He doesn't know. No, but what I was saying is it depends. I learned from my buddy that. Are you done? Are you done? Everyone
Ayushi,
wants to know if Tarun can do it now. No, but
I don't understand this podcast.
hey, you're the one who said no intro. Do what we want. That's what happened.
No,
that's
that's
why it's a
true. I
free
do.
for all.
I do.
No,
Welcome.
but the thing is, I realized. Are you gonna have a panic attack?
his face.
Okay, chill.
I was just like, he was like,
But I feel like it's if you're moving moment to moment. I'm very guilty of rushing stuff when I feel like because there's that internal. First, I was like, is it internal programming of like I feel like I should be at a certain place, so I'm trying to play catch up. That's there. Sometimes it feeds within you, like, oh shit, I need to be at this place, so let me rush to get there, right? And a lot of people, especially late 30s, 40s, can feel that energy where it's like, oh, I either it's through parents or society where I feel behind. I need to be here. So if I find someone, all right, let's get to the wedding bells, right?
Yeah,
like
that
let me rush
happens a
towards
lot
that
too.
destination, right?
I think everybody who lives in LA has gone through this to some extent.
yeah.
I feel like those things have been very great for me as a person. You get attached, and then when they leave, I can be like, all right, I'm not going to put all my happiness into them. They're not going to define who
Right.
I am.
Yep.
Which I've always been preaching on this.
Very true.
Put your work into yourself, and then you'll attract the right
Yep.
person at the right
Yeah.
moment. So I'm grateful for all.
That's a
my
great
I am
point.
too. I would have grown in the last year. I've grown like crazy in that specific aspect because I was always been to like self work, but you got to get triggered and have that mirror.
A pretty girl walks in, like I don't go head over heels. Some Latina girl I was hanging out with, and she was really hot.
I love how you said this. Some Latina chick, right?
So I hung with this girl. I don't care if she even watches this. Hung out with her. And then she lived in Chino, and I was like, great, long distance, maybe some distance there. So on my alone time, I meet her in Irvine, and I'm like, ETA? She's like, oh, I just woke up, be there in 45. I'm like, I'm going home, right? And then a week later, she's like, hey, how are you? Like, I didn't even respond. But if this was me like 25, 28, I'm like, well, she's really attractive. I was like, fuck that.
You would have had no boundaries just because you saw the
now,
end goal. Yeah.
now you have to have something more than being pretty. I'm sorry, that means
of
nothing.
course.
But I feel like everyone's pretty in LA.
Exactly.
Like it's not new. Like every guy's handsome, every girl's pretty. Like what else bring to the
And it
table?
goes away too.
Right?
I
Yeah.
mean, we're
Like,
all
it's not enough.
appreciating assets.
Exactly. Speak for yourself. But no, yeah, you're right though. And obviously, look, they always say like looks get you in the room, right? Everything else keeps you there.
Yeah.
Right? Like
I want to be attracted to someone initially,
yeah.
but
it can't be the only thing.
it's not the only thing.
Yeah.
But you know what? I felt like, what is it? Like high vibe, attract your tribe type of a thing, right?
All right, Santa
like,
Monica, yeah.
Right. So I was just like, yeah, I'm vibing. Like, I'm in like the best place of my life. Like I got great friends. I got, like I know myself. I'm good. I'm like, yeah. And then I attract this person. And then I was like,
What am I doing
just
wrong?
happened
Yeah,
here?
yeah, yeah.
I was like,
It was
how
a
did that
test.
happen?
That's how I felt too, so I get it.
But
yeah.
yes, I completely agree with you because since then, outside of that week, I mean, you saw like basically like my birthday, I was like,
Yeah.
I was high vibing. And I was so proud of myself because like Tarun said, like that didn't pull me down. It actually got me to go higher. It's like what Michelle Obama says, when they go low, we go high. So I was like, I feel good, you know? And I was like feeling very confident in myself, and I was proud of how I handled it. And then in addition to being proud of how I handled it, I realized that like, well, if I can go here, it can only go up from here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Interestingly enough, I signed up for a trauma studies certification as well, because I was like, oh, you know, this is interesting.
You're your PhD now. This put you in a whole
I
trajectory.
took my
in
pain.
life.
No, I took my pain. I'm helping others with my pain.
It's true.
No, it's
because-
good though. It's good.
It's true
But
because
luckily
like,
for you, it was only 6 weeks. Like it could have been.
Exactly.
Do you understand the situation you're describing, or people that get sucked into narcissism? Because it's so traumatic and it's such a trauma bond. I know people like I was in it for like a year.
Yeah.
Right. And that was rough enough. And thank God that wasn't in LA. I can't imagine how strong that bond would have been. That would have been a lot to go through. But I know people in like those types of situations have been married for 10 years.
Yeah.
12
Yeah,
years.
yeah, for
And
sure.
it's so like it hurts to witness someone in that.
Yeah.
You know? You're like, dude, this is such an unhealthy environment.
I've worked on, you know, my personal traumas and stuff, and like done healing work and all that stuff. But it was amazing to see, like you said, the trauma bond. It was like two tortured souls coming together and feeding each other's traumas. And
It's
I was
just
like,
those children wanting to
his-
get
yeah.
validated. Yeah, it's just a baby.
his came out to play and mine came out to play, and we were having a good time
Yeah.
playing until things blew up, and I was like, oh. And then I was like, you know what, this is great, because now I want to learn about you know, I want to be more informed as I'm supporting people about trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Pritesh, does watching these troubled relationships discourage you from getting married?
That's a good question. No. Because I can only control the way I approach it, right? And I know in my heart that's destined for me somehow, because otherwise I wouldn't want it. I've always wanted to be a father. I always want to have a partner. But I'm not going to rush into it, and I don't know exactly what it looks like. And I'm not God. I don't know how it's going to end up. That being said, I'm always going to be, I'm approaching it with a lot of openness. My heart is open again to let it be. I have way stronger boundaries.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of not creating a friendship first. So now I'm creating friendship first. Weird thing is, it almost feels reverse in LA sometimes. So that's been my reality. Where there's a lot of times I feel like girls just want to hook up. Like the amount of times,
Man,
I'm being dead honest though. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, he
You
tells
know
me
my
that.
story.
Yeah, I
The
know
amount
the
of times I
story,
hooked up with girls and then they ghost.
Oh.
Like
What
the
problem?
amount of times
Millions
I know,
of
like
Indian
yeah,
guys are
champagne
watching this,
problems.
like-
I know, but I
Girls
tell
only
them I'm
wanna
like
hook
it's
up with
crazy.
me.
I'm like, oh, this girl's really cool. She's really attractive, and then we hook up, and it's kind of like that was like all they wanted.
if Richard were to see her, he'd jump out the window right now.
No, I'm telling you, it's his reality. It really
I'm not.
is.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
been.
No, it's
wild.
great.
Yeah,
And also,
great.
people are very forthcoming to him also, that they're like, I want to like.
Wait, but
I'll
you
have
don't
it on
have, like-
my Instagram. Like you'll just like sometimes I'm like, oh, this girl's cool, and she'll be like, hey, like I'm in an open relationship, like.
That's why he hangs out with me, because I'm like, let's go to the temple, you know?
I'm the one who took you to the temple. I'm not even
You
participating
guys go
in
to
that.
the temple for fun?
I go every week.
Wow.
Yeah.
He goes more religiously than I
Yeah.
do.
You don't
Excuse
have
the
like
pun.
repeat contenders? Like it's just a one
Well,
night
if I'm
stand
dating
or a
them,
hookup?
I don't do one night stands. These are people that you like have hung out with and talked to, and then eventually it leads to that. And that's
then
kind of like what they were aiming
One
for.
and done?
Maybe once a couple times, you know. What I mean?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
'cause-
but then it's like they wanted that. Like that happened. Yeah, not that long ago too. I was like, oh, it's interesting. Okay.
It's good though. It's good that you get to experience that, because I
The way you said that was so good.
He's like,
Why?
it's good though. It's good that you experience
No,
that.
I think it's good, because I know a lot of guys and they don't have that option, and they think putting this, women on pedestals is the way to go. And I'm like, dude, just treat yourself right. Take care of yourself.
Well, with every journey, everyone has their own journey, and like I said, anything you may be quote unquote blessed in is a responsibility. So if you have a lot of money, that
blessed,
comes with a
yeah.
responsibility. It's a blessed. It's just been kind of the
Indian
reality.
Bruce Wayne
But
over
that's
here.
actually
Yeah.
that's my deep trauma wound,
Yeah.
right? It's like so. Actually, it's actually.
Sleeping with too many women is your deep trauma.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that was doing. It's like how much validation am I trying to get,
Can I
or
just
how?
ask you guys, because and Ayushi and I will give
Uh-huh,
our
yeah.
opinions after, but like just in a very humble way, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rate yourself in terms of like Attractiveness.
Whoa, we're doing that?
No, I'm curious because I'll tell
I
you.
never have thought of that.
What?
That's what someone else does to you. Like you want
No.
our own rating?
Yes, your own.
Yes,
rating.
like
We're not
I'm gonna ask
judging
that.
you,
I have
yeah.
my own rating for myself.
I was telling Richard this over coffee because, as you know, I shaved my head because of my mom's stuff, and I started wearing glasses over COVID. I wear them to drive, but sometimes like when I perform, I can't see, so I'll wear them now more often. And I was like, dude, I was looking at myself, and I was like, I can definitely don't feel good about myself.
Now, hold on, pause. You're feeling insecure. You're saying recently with the changes and stuff you've gone
Yeah,
through, not before that.
So that's the broad way of telling
But
you.
that's
like,
an
I was a
internal
4.
thing.
Okay, happy.
You were a 4.
Yeah,
Are you asking
what
right
are you,
now?
Yeah, and what are you now?
5. I don't know.
Oh, stop
What?
it, dude.
Stop.
Because, okay, let me ask you. 5, you're going, when we were talking about this rating system, we're saying, it's very awkward to even do this, but 5's average, right? You're saying 5 is an average.
I think
Because an average person is a 5.
I mean, I don't know.
Well, we have to do this. A 5 is, so 5's not a
I'm
bad
not
rating.
that mathematical.
Well,
about
I'm just
this.
saying a 5's an average looking person or average person
I
in
think
America.
it's just okay. So
Well, I'm saying Tarun, you're a 7, bro. At
Thank you,
least.
thank you.
At the least.
But I also want to say, I know guys who are
If I
like
was gay, maybe an 8.
5'4", 5'5", and they own it. It's really the attitude.
Well, you can
man.
have other attributes. I think if we're just going physically, first everyone has different tastes and
But
stuff.
also,
then
I said
if you're in shape-
attractiveness.
Oh, it's
Attractiveness.
physical
like,
attractiveness.
Just
I mean, Tom
how
Cruise is like
attractive do you
5
feel?
7, yeah. He's like 5'6", 5'7". It don't matter though. He's Tom Cruise, so.
So is Amir Khan. Amir
Yeah,
Khan is
5'5".
a shorty. You
He's
saw him
5'5".
recently.
yeah.
You know?
You didn't go to any of the screenings? Okay. Yeah, he had like he had a good like charisma.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
knows how to like
But because he's famous. If he
And
wasn't
rich.
No,
famous,
also, he was from day one, from his first movie, he was like so freaking stinking adorable.
if you saw
He
Amir
is
Khan
adorable
working at
too,
Starbucks,
yeah.
you'd be like, this guy's
He's
charisma.
a good-looking
Definitely
guy.
be
He's
into him.
actually
But
really-
he'd be in Silver Lake as a hipster. That's who he'd
No,
be.
Amir Khan today would be a silver.
Yeah,
Lake
that's
hipster.
fair.
That is
Yeah.
But
complete
he's a
bullshit.
good-looking guy. He's jacked. Like, he has
But
other
he's also
attributes
really
too.
funny. I think someone's personality also adds.
Fame
It's
trumps
huge
everything.
for a man, especially.
I think, but you guys are both in entertainment, and
Yeah.
so like it takes a certain level of confidence to be like, I go to auditions, and like
Yeah.
you're kind of selling yourself, so you're obviously putting yourself out there, and that's why I asked. Like, you must have some sort of like level of like, okay, yeah, like I am an 8 or I am
Oh,
a
LA
9 or whatever.
I feel average
you know?
in LA. I'm also older now too, so I feel
That
totally
doesn't matter.
average. I go to this place called Dialogue, this cafe. You're yawning.
Guys,
You're so bored. She's so bored.
It's not you guys. I just was like, I've had a long day, so just working.
That
it
didn't
out.
answer what you just blurted out. Like, I don't understand. I'm not doing this rating thing. It's so weird to me. I don't know. You guys rate
Let's go
yourself.
back to Ayushi. Let's
No!
do, so she
Let's
doesn't-
have Ayushi
so
rate
she's not
herself.
bored.
She's like, I'm an 11. If I'm depressed, I'm a 9.5.
That's not true.
I'm just killer.
No, that's not true. I think that like I might seem like like jovial and like confident or whatever, or happy or lucky, but like
I don't think you're
honestly, on
jovial. Happy.
No, she's severely depressed.
I know.
Continue.
It's like you two have different personalities or something.
What do you mean?
Like
yeah.
Tarun being the robot and like you being happy-go-lucky, but like
But
I feel like when you
actually-
guys go in your holes, you guys are
She's
really
just doing
different
Bratna
people.
all day and journaling.
Yeah, I am actually.
I can turn
So-
it on
No,
though.
but like I
Yeah.
think that like it's really hard for me to rate or whatever, because if I have to rate my alter ego, I'd say it's like not even like 12 or something, but like my actual like how I feel on the inside might be a 2, because like many times I really have to just bounce back. Like there are lots of things happening in life. Luckily I did get my visa and all that, so there's one thing that's moving.
We're too
But,
deep for
like,
this answer. She's just like physical attractiveness, and we're like,
but
well,
I just feel like
inside.
there's even like physical attractiveness and all of that. I think it's really influenced by how you're feeling, right?
Of
It's
course
really
it is. How do you feel
like,
about yourself?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like I'm recovering from something that like is also like was really heartbreaking. So
Mm-hmm.
I think there are many times when I'm like doing pratna and journaling and then like just giving like Pritesh a call and like crying on the phone for like an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that what I'm saying is like,
That's why we're not dating.
the attractiveness is really
That's
affected
more
by
reason to.
like that rating to me is like really affected by how I feel. And now I can say, okay, maybe I'm 5, but like maybe like a month ago I was like 2.
Can I tell you something that's helped me a lot?
That's insane.
Somebody told me this once because I was like you many years ago. I was up and down, and she goes, "You're a comedian. That's your natural temperament." And I was like, when I
What,
accept-
to be up and down?
well, yeah, I was like, if that's my default. So I was like, this is just some kind of programming in my mind. And I was like, once I accept that, it's just part of like my day to day.
Yeah.
Then I can observe it more versus having to be fully immersed in it where it's going to affect my outlook.
Are
and
you talking
happiness.
about like having mood swings throughout the day?
Yes.
But I don't think
Okay.
it was. What I realized was it wasn't mood swings. It's just that I'm very lucky that I've really experienced emotions at the depths of it. So I'm very like an overthinker, overfeeler. But I'm very grateful for that. Like
Because you're an actress.
You know,
You need that,
now
though.
it's like
All
you're
of us
right.
have that.
You're
I mean,
right
we're
in the
in the world
sense that
we're in.
like we should actually accept these things instead of trying to like fight that or be like, oh, these are mood swings or this is something negative. It's actually not. I'm so glad I'm on the other extreme versus like someone who's
Being
unable
able to
access,
feel
being able to
versus
feel,
not being able to feel.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like Gabriel Mate says. Everyone, he's like, it's not about feeling good. It's getting
Mate.
better. He's amazing.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the drink.
No,
Oh,
the dude. I think, but he says it's not about feeling good. It's getting better at feeling.
Yes,
Right.
yeah,
And people
being-
confuse the two all the time. Is like, I just want to feel better. I want to feel better. No. You need to feel this. That will be a result. You're not feeling it. It's all these repressed emotions. Everyone's owning sadness, taking on sadness, and getting depressed. All these common things that we take on, like don't release and feel.
Yeah.
And I think it's good though, because once you get good at that, you can process anything.
Exactly.
Because you know it's a process. It's not who you are. It's just
I
what's
also think
happening
it's
in
like
the
a
moment.
personal like victory when you're able to overcome something that you think is like, oh, I'm never gonna get through this. I actually don't think I'm gonna get through this.
Yeah.
But then like some days are just amazing because you're like, wow, I got through this day and I was able to do whatever I needed to do. I was able to get out of bed. This is great, and I can do another day, and then I can do another day, and
Yeah.
like
All
I'll be
jokes
fine.
aside, I've known Ayushi for a long time. She's come very far.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of her.
Also-
she's gone through a lot.
I would also
So-
say, like, sometimes when I hear you speak in just like the space that you're in and maybe what you're going through, you remind me a lot of what I was like when I was your age. You know, like, because
Yeah.
like I would say I had it pretty intense and rough from like 27 to about 31-ish,
Yeah.
32-ish.
Saturn return.
No joke. No joke, because I know you follow Chris Curzini as well.
Kind of, but I studied Vedic astrology for 7 years.
Oh,
so
okay.
I just learned a
Yeah.
lot through
Wow.
it. Yeah.
So I'm
Like
like
Steve Jobs
literally
going to
out
India
of
for
my
like 7
phase now. I'm like literally out
yes,
of like my
Saturn is
like,
direct
I am
and
like-
Pluto is out.
I'm on fire
You
now.
sound. You just stop. You know that shit. I know that. Don't.
That is
We're not doing
true.
superficial astrology
I'm just
here.
saying Saturn is direct, Pluto
Yeah,
is
but
out.
it impacts everyone very differently.
Yeah,
Yes,
of
it
course,
does
I
impact
understand.
everyone differently.
Yeah.
And so like for me, like you know, now like when you guys asked, like we're talking about the rating scale system.
We didn't ask. You asked us.
And then everyone got really uncomfortable.
you
And,
didn't-
apparently
and then-
everyone feels like they're ugly in a 2.
You didn't even rate yourself. You made us answer
We
the
have
questions.
2 good-looking people here. They're like, well, I'm a 2 when I
Ritu,
journal.
what do you rate
when
yourself?
I'm journaling, I'm a 2.
I rate myself a solid 8.
That's great.
But I got to an 8 because literally I think it's been like my process of going through all of these experiences and like finally graduating from like maybe 2008 to 2023 and now being like, I've arrived. I feel good. Like I'm an 8, not because, you know, I've talked about the weight loss thing and this and that, all these things on this podcast, but not because of like I'm in the perfect predisposition to be a model or this or that, but I within myself feel like
That's
I'm
amazing.
solid.
When did you study Vedic astrology?
So, okay. Long story short, when I was a kid, I was vice president of accounting society. I had 3.8 GPA, and I was a club promoter in college. Like I was kind of well-rounded, but I killed it, right? And so I was coming to my
Still
mom's.
killing it.
Well, yeah. So I came home, and my mom's like, "You need to come home. We have a big guru from India." You know, I was like, "All right, I'll come home." So literally,
Say it like she actually said in Gujarati.
no, Garav. Garav, koi chetan jo. So literally, you know, mama's boy, you're like, all right, mom, I'll do what you guys. So I come home, there's this big guru from India, and literally he's staying in my room. And she goes, we gave him your stuff, like your astrology. So go and sit with him. I know nothing about this really at the time, except my parents were into it. My dad studied it, my grandpa was studying it. So I'm like sitting with this guy, he's like, look at my chart. He goes, wait, you do accounting? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, He goes, you'll never use your degree.
Wow.
Ever, you'll never use your degree. And I took it so personally. I was not emotionally mature enough to handle that. And I felt incredibly rejected at the time. And I was very volatile. It hit me like, who the fuck are you? It's the first time I cursed at my mom. I literally went downstairs, like, don't you ever fucking have me see these guys like that? And she goes, calm down. I was so pissed. I'm like, who the hell is this guy to tell me everything I've busted my ass for is not going to happen? Fast forward a year, I'd graduated and my job wasn't supposed to start for 6 months. And my mom's like, you've been a class clown. You're the funny guy. Like, I don't see you as an accountant. I just can't see that. So she had found...
Your mom said that to you?
My
Oh,
mom's
wow.
the most beautiful soul. And then she found a commercial acting class in Orange County. I grew up in San Diego. So I was just driving up once a week to take this class. And this guy was like, "You're really good."
Nice.
And I was like, when the job starts, I have nothing to lose. I don't care. I'm just having fun. He goes, "Here's an audition at this agency. Go audition for them." Once again, I have nothing to lose. So I'm not nervous because I just don't care. And I go in, I kill it. They signed me. And literally immediately I start doing all this print model work.
Yeah.
So June comes around and I'm like, my job's supposed to start. And I've only been doing this like 6 months. And I remember like it was a Friday before that Monday I was supposed to start. I'm like having panic attacks and I'm crying and everything in me is like, I don't even know where this is coming from. But all these whispers in me was like, you can't go in on Monday. You can't do it. So I go downstairs talking to my mom and my sister. And I'm just telling mom, like, I don't know if I should start this job. I really want to pursue this. And my mom, she goes, "What was the point of us coming to this country if I didn't give you the opportunity to do that?"
Wow.
She goes,
my
I literally got
Dude,
goosebumps.
shout out to
Yeah.
Pritesh's mom.
Yeah, my mom's angel. My mom's like, we came all the way from India so our kids would have freedom to pursue. What was the point of us coming to this country? So you could have to do the same
Wow.
stuff we would have been limited to in India. So
I
do
literally
it.
got goosebumps,
Then she
yeah.
would go, if you wanted to be a doctor, we'd pay for it, right? If you wanted to go in dentistry, we'd be paying for it. Similarly, so if you're going to do this, then we should help you. Like, that's my mom.
You want to take the Groundlings 101 class? We will pay for it. That's
Exactly.
right. Yeah.
So then, my sister's obviously supportive, still one of my best friends. She was good. But I'm petrified of my father, right? Scared shitless of my dad. At the time, especially. I'm just like so scared to tell him this. So I'm like, give me that astrologer's number. So I call him in India. I'm like in the bathroom crying.
You
I'm like,
actually
I
did
called him. I was
this?
like, you came here a year ago. You told me this. Like, I'm kind of being very aggressive, right? And he was like, yeah, you didn't let me finish, but like everything in your chart's entertainment. So you should go for it. And that's the
Do you
only
still have his number?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
So he validated.
His name is Sadhguru.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's incredible. But see, Sadhguru, so he's worked beyond the limitations of that Gurma anyway. But
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so now it's noon. Now I finally have the balls. I call my dad and I'm like, look, because my dad really believes in that. So I wanted to use that on my favor. I was like, I called him in India and he said I should do it and mom's cool with it. I just feel like I got to try this. And he's just quiet, right? You can feel the steam of the dragon.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very scared of my father, but I had to do it. Then I get off the phone with him. He's like, okay. Then I call HR, leave a voicemail because it's lunchtime. I'm like, hey, it's Pritesh. I won't be able to come into work on Monday because I figured out what I want to do with the rest of my life. Hung up, right?
Oh.
And I'm like scared. I'm like, oh.
Worst employee ever.
Yeah, worse. I'm like, they've already given me like a signing bonus. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get a call back at 1. I'm like, dude, my heart, like I'm going to faint, right? Like the HR lady's calling me back. And she goes, honey, I got your voice message. I was like, And she
How old
goes,
were you?
like 25.
Okay.
24. And she goes, I was like, And she goes, honey, I wish I made that decision when I was your age. Go kill it.
Oh.
So I've had all these whispers, right, of support. And then, so I kind of was like, what is this? And then throughout my life, I kept meeting astrologers randomly. They would just be a part of my life.
You're going to
through
get
my
laid
healing
incessantly in Los Angeles if you go for your dreams.
I should have said that because that's actually not, okay. But so then there's a funny story to that. But then I would just meet him. And then all of a sudden, I met this girl, my really good friend Bridget, believe it or not, she had a big YouTube channel, huge YouTube channel. She was a numerologist, astrologer, and I met her at like this event.
Have I met her?
No, I don't think so, but I've told you about her. And she's a homie of mine, like a really good friend, and she started teaching me.
Hey, what are we at for time-wise? All right. Did you give me the wrap-up? I didn't see it. Oh, okay.
Sorry, I talked too long about
No,
that.
it's good.
no.
Honestly, when we have guests come on, I don't mind when you guys...
Funny, so when I was 12 years old, I went to India with my mom. And she had an astrologer read my thing in front of my... I'm like watching Looney Tunes and Never Kissed a Girl. And he looked at my chart. He's like, be careful, he can get a lot of girls pregnant.
Oh.
He needs to be very careful.
Are
And
you a
I'm-
baby daddy?
And no, because I'm not out there like that. But I literally was like, looked at my mom. It's the most awkward situation to be with your mom. Like
Watching Looney Tunes?
I'm 12. I'm like a real 12, our generation 12. No social media. I'm like never experiment. Like I'm just an innocent
Why
kid.
did you stop taking doing those videos with your mom? His mom's so funny.
What
She's
videos?
So, you
She's in
used
San
to take
Diego,
me-
your mom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll see her in Thanksgiving. Yeah, my mom's epic. She's the dopest person.
She's so sweet.
She's very positive, spiritually inclined, doesn't play the victim at all. I asked her, I said, since you moved to your mom, how many times, what do you think about racism? She goes, I've never felt it. And that's her reality. But she's also she's manifested a very good life for herself because that's just the energy she vibes in. So she doesn't really attract negative experiences.
Hold on. What's that? You guys keep
What
talking.
the heck is happening right now?
Tarun's writing a note on his phone. I feel like a 4. I need to figure this out.
It's just checked
Hey,
out.
Isha, just come to the driveway.
It's the next
Logistics.
person.
Oops. Okay.
Gotcha.
We got to get wrapped up soon, but hey, Pritesh, thanks for coming on. You want to plug anything while you're here?
No. I said, yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at the Pritesh Shah. What else is there to plug?
Are you doing
Only
Vedic
I
I did film
readings?
2 commercials. I have an Army commercial coming out and I have a Comcast commercial coming
That's
out.
amazing. Congratulations. Like, the astrologer was right.
Yeah, it's been weird.
And he's going on a callback with me tomorrow.
Yeah.
That we're so excited
Wait, and
about.
are you also open for Vedic readings?
There's, when it's funny when you study that because they tell you there's a lot of karma that comes with doing readings. I would never do it. And not that I'm in any place
You
to do
did
it.
say that, yeah.
Because you are pivotal in changing someone's life, making
Yeah.
decisions, and you don't want to have that karma. Because if you're in
be.
any position where you're guiding someone, that's not a good.
I
place
do
to be.
it.
Yeah.
Not Vedic readings. I do tarot readings for people.
Yeah, I mean, you can't.
Oh, do you have any tarot cards?
Oh, will you relax?
Not on me.
Baba, what?
Because if you're ever going to approach it, you have to approch it without being anxious.
What's
can't
your
approach her
nickname? She don't call you Baba.
She has called me
Hey,
Baba.
this is
before.
why we don't date.
Hey, Daddy.
No, you're daddy. You're daddy.
You're Daddy.
Yeah.
You're
The one
Daddy.
time
You're a
woke
sexy daddy, bro. Come on now. You
Yeah,
ain't
the
no
one time I
fool.
woke up and I was like really cribbing, and then we were texting, and he just like felt something in my energy, so he called me and he like gave me this like whole just advised on
Who
how I
felt
should.
something? Tarun did?
Yeah, we were texting, and he was like, "Okay, I can't do this text," so he just like called me.
I don't
and he
like
was
texting back and forth.
Yeah, so it was like some conversation we were having in the morning. He picked up some like agitation, so he was like, "Okay, let me just like call you." It wasn't about him. It was just like something I was going through that day. So then he just gave me this like spiel on like life, and afterwards I was like, "Thank you, Daddy."
That's all.
Like,
Oh my
That
God.
almost sounded sexy. Also, when you talk, there's no punctuation.
No, hold on. We got to get going. But she started this. We went up for coffee together, Naomi.
Yes,
And
yeah.
she goes, "Can you give me some fries, Daddy?" And I was like, "What?"
no, no.
Yeah. We said, "Thank you, Daddy." Or something
Everyone
like-
at the coffee shop was like, this is an odd relationship.
I know. I was like, "Hey, we gotta get going. Let's end on this weird note." But Pritesh, thanks.
By
for
the way,
coming.
I'm not out there like that.
Thank-
I'm building a friendship on dates. I don't do anything. I'm monk mode now.
Well, we appreciate you for coming by.
Thanks for having me. Man.
Yeah. Thanks.
I've known you for a long time too, so it's always good to.
Yeah,
I met you like 12 years ago.
I know. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please don't forget
Yeah.
to like,
Which
subscribe,
one's my camera?
and share. And add us on Patreon, please. Support us.
And they're both single.
Yeah. All right.
So is he.
Thank you.
Daddy.
Jesse
We're done.
Krishna.
We're done. Thank you. I gotta take this phone call.